Okay, everybody, in the car today. I'm off to pick up a couple YouTube buddies. We're gonna go record shopping. Stay tuned. Look who's here. There's Mike. And there's Brian.
Hey.
And we're gonna go spend probably too much money. Welcome to Northern Revolutions. I'm Rob. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. So, I went record shopping today. Mike from MGK Buffalo called me earlier this week and said, hey, I'm gonna be in town because his in-laws live here. He's gonna be in town for a family reunion, and said, hey, do you wanna go record shopping? And I said, let me think about it. Sure, okay. Who's gonna say no to go record shopping, right? And so he said, let's give Brian a call, Embryonic Robot, and see if he wants to join us. Brian said, sure. So Brian drove an hour from Toronto to where Mike and I were, and we hopped in my car and we went to Kitchener, Ontario, where there are two good record stores relatively close to each other, about a block away. The first place we went to was Encore Records, a place I've been hundreds of times. Okay, so here we are at Encore Records in Kitchener. We're gonna go spend too much money,
It's
right,
my
guys?
Sears catalog pose.
There you go. They have a really big store. It's mostly CDs. I'd say 2/3 CDs. Vinyl, it's almost entirely new vinyl, and they have a great selection of new vinyl. Then we went about a block away to another record store called X-Disc-C. X-Disc-C. Both of these stores have been in Kitchener for a couple decades, I think. X-Disc-C is more of a eclectic record store. It's kind of a hole in the wall. It's got a lot more stuff in a lot less space. It's a digging kind of record store. And then we went and had some lunch. We went to one of my favorite places, the Lancaster Smokehouse in the Bridgeport area of Kitchener. I ate way too much meat, brisket, great, it's phenomenal. Anyway, so we went record shopping. I'm gonna show you what I picked up. Also, I got 2 records in the mail today from a pre-order, and I'm gonna show you those as well. If you've watched any of my other videos recently, I talked about how I was trying to be a little more selective as a record buyer this year. And I've only been to a record store like one, other than Record Store Day, one other time. I was gonna not spend a ton of money today. And I didn't spend a ton, but I spent more than I expected to. Tried to be really disciplined. But at Encore, there's a bunch of stuff I could have purchased, but I found these 2 records by the same artist, obviously at the same time. I had them both in my hand. I was trying to decide which one I was gonna buy. Well, of course, I ended up buying them both. And that is Dirty Honey. This is called Can't Find the Breaks. This is their second album, which came out, let's see a date on here, in the last couple years anyway. I love Dirty Honey's first album. I've been looking for this for a while, so, I mean, I could have pre-ordered it or whatever, or bought it off their web store, but I was just waiting to find it at a record store. So I found this, and I'm buying it, and pretty good price actually. And then as I was flipping behind it, lo and behold, I find this, Dirty Honey, Mayhem and Revelry Live. I didn't even know that Dirty Honey put out a live album. This was a live album from their tour from the album I just showed. This was the 2023-2024 Can't Find the Breaks World Tour. And disc 1 was recorded in North America and disc 2 was recorded in Europe. So it's a 2 LP set, live, and this was 24 bucks Canadian. What a steal. You can rarely find a single disc for 24 bucks. So I'm crazy psyched about this. So at Encore, 2 Dirty Honey records. Awesome. Great. We still have one more store to go. So, you know, let's be cautious, Rob. I had one big purchase at X-Disc-C, which I'll show you in a second, and I had a couple budget buys as well. He has a lot of used stuff. There's a used wall at the back, which is really hard to sort through because you can just see the spines. It's a pain in the ass to look through, but that's his good used stuff. And then there's bargain used stuff on the floor. And then there's really cheap used stuff outside in bins under like a big tent. We all picked some of the budget stuff from under the tent. Brian was really thinking about some ABBA, but he put it back because $1.99 was too rich for his blood. I picked up a couple things. The first thing I stumbled across was the James Gang Thirds. Joe Walsh, my guitar hero. I have the best of the James Gang, but I don't have a studio album by them. So this actually has my favorite James Gang song, which is Walk Away. I mean, Funk 49 is a fantastic song too, but Walk Away is my favorite. Jacket's in reasonable shape. The record's in reasonable shape. A few minor scuffs, but no discernible scratches, so to speak. And this cost me a whopping $2.99. Who's going to pass that up? And then the next thing I found, there's a little bit of staining on the cover, but this is the Everly Brothers, the very best of. Yes, Chris, man, it's the greatest hits just for you. Love some of the early Everly Brothers stuff because I heard it a lot when I was a kid, and I have their reunion concert, but I don't have any of their early albums. And really all I need is the greatest hits, to be quite honest. Even though it's got a little bit of staining on the cover, the record's in pretty good shape. Again, a few surface scuffs, but no scratches. So for $1.99, take a gamble on it. If it sucks, out it goes. But I think it's going to be just fine. It says all the great songs I remember from when I was a kid. Bye Bye Love, Wake Up Little Susie, Crying in the Rain, Walk Right Back, Kathy's Clown, Bird Dog, All I Have to Do Is Dream. Yeah, can't wait to listen to this. Brings me back to my childhood. And the last bargain find is Burton Cummings, My Own Way to Rock. It's the only one you need. Love the Guess Who. I've met Burton Cummings. His solo stuff, I could take it or leave it, but I like the song My Own Way to Rock. I've never heard the rest of the album. But again, $2.99. Sure, why not? And then my actual purchase of note, shall we say, was Springsteen's A Letter to You. Still sealed, obviously. It's a brand new record from 2020. I'm deep into a Springsteen exploration, and I have all the early stuff, you know, for the first almost 20 years of his career. But I listened to this. I have a digital copy of this, and I just put it on for the very first time a week or so ago, and blown away how great this was. So I picked it up. It was, you know, the most expensive record I bought of the day, but that's okay. In the months that I've been looking for Springsteen records, it's the first time I've seen it. So because I loved it when I listened to it 3 or 4 times last week, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be the next Springsteen album that I dive into. So I was thrilled to find Letter to You. So that was our finds, or my finds anyway, from the 2 record stores in Kitchener. And then we had great lunch where I ate too much meat, but that's never a bad thing. Dropped Mike off at his in-laws, and Brian got in his car and went home, and we had a great fun day. When I got home, there was a mail package for me. I had pre-ordered a couple records. There's an indie label in Toronto that I absolutely love called 6 Shooter Records. I have more of their records than I care to imagine. My favorite 6 Shooter band is Whitehorse. Luke Doucette and Melissa McClellan. I've talked about them a ton. I absolutely love them. Mike and Patty and I have been to a couple Whitehorse concerts together. This is their first from 2014. Love Whitehorse. Luke and Melissa had solo careers before this and on 6 Shooter Records. So I have several of their albums on CD, a couple of the 2 of Luke's albums on vinyl. Melissa doesn't have any on vinyl. 6 Shooter is celebrating their silver anniversary, their 20th anniversary as a label. And so they released some albums that had never been released before on vinyl. And the first one that I picked up is Melissa McClellan's Victoria Day. Melissa from Whitehorse. This album's produced by Luke. This came out in 2009. Great record. I have it digitally. Never had it on vinyl. Haven't opened this yet, but it's on a cool colored pink vinyl. Thrilled that this has finally been released. So it just was released yesterday. And of course, they put out one of Luke's older albums. His last 2, which was Steel City Trawler and Blood's Too Rich, those came out back in the day. This is his album before that. It's from 2005. This is called Broken and Other Rogue States. I really like this album a lot. There's some very good songs on here. Broken One, which Whitehorse retweaked a little bit and put out as a Whitehorse song. It's Not the Liquor I Miss, that's a good song. This whole record's very good. It's kind of electric folk. This is on an orange vinyl. So thrilled that Six Shooter's going back into its catalog and releasing some fairly landmark for them albums. So thrilled to have these. There you go, folks. You know, I've been trying not to buy records. I bought records today. The Luca Melissa thing, that's a no-brainer. There's certain artists, if they put something out, I'm buying it, and that fits that criteria. I had a blast with Mike and Brian today. I always do. So it was good to see those guys, good to hang out with them. Expensive to hang out with them, but that's okay. That's the day. I'm sure that Mike and Brian will probably put out a video at some point in time detailing our escapades of the day. Check those out if they do. That's everything for me today, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.